ahead and start. Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Seth Armstrong. I'm here this morning to tell you guys about what the United States Army has to offer. Some of you guys may not be interested in the military at all, and that is totally fine. If you're not interested in the military, I would still recommend keeping your eyes and ears open for this because it does have a lot of good information. And you may decide later in your life that the things that come after high school may not be so great, and you might have a lot to gain from joining the military. Right? A lot of people consider the military as plan B, backup plan, right? Backup plan is good, but I'm here to tell you why it should be a plan A. Okay? Now we don't have a whole lot of time this morning. Roughly about 30 minutes. So I'm going to give you a short time before we go into this. You guys have any general questions? And then if you guys have any questions after, I'll be here until I see whoever it is, the last student is that wants to talk. I'm here for you guys. So if you guys want to sit down with me one-on-one, I'll be in the conference room after this. Okay? All right. Next one. So a little bit about myself. I'm from upstate New York, kind of moved all around the United States. I joined the Army when most of you guys were knee-high to a grasshopper back in 2012. So some of you guys are still in diapers. So I've been doing this for a long time. Growing up through high school, I was a huge wrestler, state level wrestler. I actually got a full ride scholarship to go to Ohio State. I don't know if any of you guys are wrestlers, but that's one of the biggest wrestling schools in the country, right? Biggest thing is I wanted to go to school. I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for. I didn't want to waste a degree on just any degree. I wanted to get something that I enjoyed in it. And I didn't know what that was at the time. So what I did know is I wanted a hands-on skill. And that's what I went to the Army for. I went down and talked to a recruiter and took the ASVAB and I wanted to see what options I had. And I had all sorts of different things, mechanics, medical, truck driver, all sorts of different stuff. I ended up choosing to be a welding mechanic, and it was great. I have a wife and a son. My wife is an English teacher here at Myrtle Point. My son is 7 years old. He's growing up fast. So, if you guys do have any questions about me and my personal life, feel free to ask. If you're wondering what just personal life in the military is like, let me know. Okay? Next slide. Next one. And okay. So, the Army is the oldest military organization within the United States. We are older than the Constitution itself. Who knows when the Constitution was written? Anyone? Or signed?
1776.
Awesome. What year was the Continental Army formed? 1775. So we are older than the United States of America as a whole. Okay? We are also the largest branch. We have the most opportunities out of any branch. So if you are looking to join a branch, talk to the Army, we might have something that's either similar or the same exact job as the other branches have to offer. Now, let's talk about how you get started, right? So, first step into joining the military is obviously talking to me. Usually we'll sit down, tell me about your interests, what kind of things you're looking to get out of it. Maybe it's education, maybe it's a career enhancement, maybe you're looking to just have a good resume once you get out and get a job at a AAA company, right? Maybe you want to just settle down, make sure your finances are secure for the rest of your life. There's all sorts of things that can lead you to coming to the Army, right? Now, once you sit down with me, we've determined that you're qualified. We'll have you take the ASVAB. Once you take the ASVAB, we're going to go over a list of jobs. Hey, what job do you want? You're going to have all sorts of different jobs. You put that job with any of your reps. You do a physical, you sit down with a guidance counselor, take your ASVAB, and as long as you're qualified, you can join the Army, right? Ship off the basic training. Now, that's not within the same time period. Usually there's a wait between there. That's called the delayed entry program. For you guys who are high school students, you guys would be in the delayed entry program until you graduate from high school. Now, once you ship off to basic training is a 10-week period. That's where you're going to go to learn all your basic soldier skills: how to shoot, how to move, how to communicate, how to do first aid, land navigation, things like that. Now, once you complete basic training, depending on the route that you chose to pick your job, whether that's a technical job or a combat you go one of two routes. If you go the combat route, you will go to one station unit training. Essentially what that is the same place you go to basic training, is the same place you go to learn how to be an infantryman, military, police, combat engineer, and so on. If you choose a technical job, you would go to what's called AIT, Advanced Individual Training. Think of it as like a technical college. Some of you might want to go be a mechanic. Any of you want to be a mechanic? What about electricians? No one? Plumbing? Okay, so for you to get certified, you have to go to a technical institution, right? So the Army basically does that and make it a short-term version of that. Just straight training for whatever period the Army determines that you need that training for, and you get all those same certifications. So that's what you would do after your basic training. Once you're done with basic training, you go to your AIT or OSIP, whatever it is that you chose to do, you will end up going to your first duty station. Okay? Now, some of the other training options that the Army has to offer you guys, first is training choice. What that means is the Army only deals in close contracts. So, you choose your job, you choose your path. We don't choose it for you. So if you want to be a mechanic, you get to be a mechanic. If you want to be a, if you want to be traffic control, you want to work in helicopters, you want to be a medic, things like that. You choose that route, we don't choose it for you. Now with that, you also have other options. You have different enlistment terms, so you can do anywhere from 3 to 6 years. That's for active to be. If you decide you want to be in the Army part-time, you want to do it 1 weekend a month. That is a 6-year obligation into the reserves. That's the only option you have. We also have the Army Acquired Skills Program. What that is say you guys want to join the Army, but you're already certified in a skill and you want to do that in the Army. Anyone in here will? Anyone in here in shop? Okay, so you like carpentry, right? Say you get certified in carpentry. You can take those certifications to me, and I can put you in the exact job that you want with those certifications. You don't have to go to AIT if you have enough certifications because you're already trained on how to do that job. So that is an option if that's something you're looking for. We have Officer Candidate School. If you guys have earned a bachelor's degree, we can send you to school to be an officer, a commissioned officer in the United States Army. More pay, more responsibility, lots of good things to come out of that. We're on officer flight training. What that is if you guys want to fly helicopters, you guys want to be involved in aviation, we send you there, they teach you how to fly helicopters. And then we also have special forces enlistment options. So if you guys have all watched movies like Black Hawk Down and Lone Survivor, things like that, right? You guys have heard the Green Berets? You can join to be a Green Beret, right through your initial contract. So if that's something you want to do, you can absolutely do that. This is just a list of our general job fields that we have. We have over 150, it's really about 250 jobs that we have to offer. We have jobs in just about anything that you can think of. If there's a job in the civilian world that you want to do, Chance?
What about a cartoon developer?
Probably not a cartoon developer, but we do have public affairs, which is like arts and media. So we do have something similar, but not necessarily a cartoon. What I would say though is arts and media would be a good step to get you into cartoon development, if that's something you want to do.
It's been a dream for a long time of mine.
That's a good dream. And there's good money in it. So, yeah, if there's something you guys want to do, there might be a few nitpicky jobs that, like archaeology and paleontology, a lot of the ologies that you might not be able to find. But we might be able to find you something similar. Excellent. So throughout your duration in the Army, you're going to have the option to go to different leadership courses. Now, those courses are designed to promote you while you're in the Army. But these courses also directly translate to civilian job applications. You have basic leaders course, that's where they teach you how to be a sergeant. That would get you roughly a manager position at just about any company that you were qualified to work for. You go to the advanced leaders course, you're looking at maybe division manager or a regional manager. And then senior leaders, of course, you're managing 100 plus people or more. So you're looking at top manager positions. These are great on the resume, and they make you far more marketable when you are applying to different jobs throughout the country. That's all. All right. We are also one of the most diverse organizations. There are so many different places that you can go. Who here has left the state of Oregon? Who has not left the state of Oregon? Who wants to leave the state of Oregon? Who has been to a different country? How many people want to experience a different country? What country do you want to experience? You?
Me?
Yeah.
Germany.
Germany? I got this for you. We can send you to Germany. What about South Korea? Anyone like Asian culture?
I like
Good.
Japan.
Japan? Well, we don't have any bases in Japan. Actually, yes, we do.
Yeah, it says right there.
I lied. We have a joint base in Japan. It's kind of limited options to get there. Only certain jobs go, but it is possible. And that's something you would want to experience. Talk to me, and we'll see if we can find you a job that can get you there. Right? All sorts of different places you can go. I spent 4 years of my life in Korea. Best place I've ever visited. I've also been to Poland. I've been to Romania, Latvia, Lithuania, all the Baltic states, Germany. So I've traveled all over the world. Got to see a ton of crazy stuff. Awesome experience. Not only that, you are dealing with different people from all over the United States. Not just the United States, different countries too. One of the ways a lot of people come here to get their permanent citizenship is they join the Army. It's expedited citizenship. So you're going to experience all sorts of different cultures. One of the things, if you guys decide to do this, and I implore you to just take a look. When you go to lunchtime, right, and all your fellow soldiers that come around, look what they all bring for lunch. Every single one of them is going to be different. Some stereotypes are true. Just pay attention. And the cultures are vastly different. That's one of the best things about the Army, is we all share something in common. So being able to share cultures within that is a great way to build, best friends. Unlike coming through high school, most of the friends that you have now, you will probably not talk to after high school. Maybe onesies and twosies. Most of them will find their own way in life. They'll have their own struggles, and they'll make their own decisions. The friends you make in the military will be lifelong friends. I still have friends who call me every single day from when I went to basic training 14 years ago. I haven't seen them since, but they still call me every day. That's the kind of friends that you're building. It's not just friends, it's family. So that's something that you guys can look forward to, is that bond and people to take care of you for the rest of your life too. Next one. All right. So some of the options you're gonna have to help you throughout your financial security, right? Healthcare. The Army offers what is called TRICARE. That covers both medical and dental coverage. For you guys, if you join the Army, it is free for you. You will never have to pay a doctor's bill, a copay, or for any pharmaceutical. Now, if you guys are married and have kids, kids will also be covered under this. It's not free, but it's only $52 a month. Who knows what the national average is for healthcare for a family of 3? About $1,400. It's $1,489 is the national average. What's the difference between 1,400 and 52? A lot, right? So that's something you guys won't have to worry about. The next is life insurance. Things in life happen, right? People pass unexpectedly. Have you guys had a student who passed through while you guys have been here? Or someone you knew that was young and passed while you're here? Right, but someone young, right? Was never expected. What about other family members? Brothers, sisters, things like that. Life happens. One of the things the Army does to help ensure that no matter what happens in life is we make sure your family is financially stable during that time. Funerals and things like that are expensive, all right? So for you guys are covered for $100,000 or $500,000 should anything ever happen to you. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's contract related. It's not. It's no matter what happens, okay? Your spouse, if you get married, will be covered for $100,000, and for each child that you have, they will be covered for $10,000. So, that's something you guys won't have to worry about should life happen, alright? Next is vacation. You guys are gonna get 30 days of paid vacation every year. That is guaranteed by Congress. However, you're also gonna get every federal holiday off, the vast majority of your weekends off, and things that each unit calls DONSs. These are days of no scheduled activity. Basically just a free day that your unit gives you. Really, you're looking roughly between 80 to 120 days off a year. That's a lot of free time. So besides teaching, can anyone think of another job that offers you 80 to 120 days off a year? There's not many options, is there? So if you guys want a lot of time for you and your family, you have a lot of time. Next is accelerated promotions. Your first 4 ranks in the Army are automatic. As long as you are doing what you're supposed to be, you're not getting in any trouble, you're gonna get those no matter what. Now, if you are doing great in your job and your leadership recognizes you, they can promote you faster. We have waivers to promote you to private PV2, private first class, specialist, even faster. So you can accelerate very fast. You can be promoted as sergeant in 2.5 years. That's a management position. Where else do you think you can make a management position unless you know somebody in 2.5 years? Not very many places. You can go to that. And actually go back home. So a lot of people, you guys are all aware that the military has its own retirement, right? So our retirement plan has changed. So it used to be 50% 20 years you would be entitled to. So 50% of your pay. So whatever rank that you retire as, you would get 50% of that paycheck for the rest of your life. Now it's changed. It is 40% in 20 years. However, that is blended into what we call a blended retirement plan. So what we have is a thrift savings plan. What they do is you put 5% of your pay, and the Army will match 5% of that. And they're gonna invest that in stocks. The younger you are, the more risky it is. With more risk, is the more return, right? So you make a bunch of money early on. As you get a little older, those stocks become more secure. Still paying out, but you're collecting a little bit less, but it's more stable. And once you get towards retirement, if you invest it correctly, you can be walking away up to $3 million. That's a lot of money. $3 million. And after 20 years, you can withdraw 50% of that without a penalty. So if you make $3 million at 20 years, you have 1.5 million, you can pull that out right then and there. Buy a house, pay off cars, live debt free. These are these are our pay scales. This is last year's pay scales. You're actually making more than this. But what I want to know, so assuming you guys come in, this rough number is actually going to be closer to $2,400 initially what you're going to be making. Now, when you come in, you're not paying any rent, you're not paying for any food, you're not paying for any health care, you're not paying for your life insurance. The only bills you have to worry about is your car, if you have one, your internet, and your cell phone. So $2,400 is more than sufficient. That's a lot of money you guys are saving. That's just spending money, essentially. And you don't have to worry about anything else. So your job security is set. Your financial security is set. And you can see, as you go up, it does increase pretty rapidly. Okay, now you can go to the next slide. Alright, so some of the other entitlements that you guys are going to be given, these first two are going to be if you're married or if you are promoted to staff sergeant, or they move you out of the barracks early, and we'll talk about that. So, basic allowance for housing. The Army is going to give you money for rent every month or mortgage, so that you don't have to worry about paying out of your pocket to live at home. For example, I own a house back in Georgia and I rent a house here. Okay, the Army gives me $2,100 for rent. My house in Georgia, I'm paying $900 for my mortgage. Mind you, I'm renting it out. I'm getting $1,800 back for that house. So that house is paying for my apartment here. So I'm pocketing that $2,100. I'm not. That's just free money that I get to save. But if you guys do get your own apartment or you do buy a house, the Army's paying for it. That's something you don't have to worry about. Not only that, basic allowance for sustenance. The Army's gonna give you $350 a month for food and groceries. Groceries are expensive. You guys are gone shopping with your mom, right? Your dad? That stuff is expensive. That's one more thing you don't have to worry about paying out of your pocket. The Army's gonna take care of that for you. Now, for single soldiers, you guys are gonna be given barracks rooms, basically like college dorm rooms, probably a little bit bigger. And then you're gonna have dining facilities open to you 24/7. Who's been to a college and went to their cafeteria? So they have all sorts of different options, right? They have different lines, and it's different every day. So that's what our dining facilities are like. You guys don't have to worry about, eating the same thing every day. It's not like people say we get chicken and rice every day. It's not like that. You can get something different every time you go. AER. So AER is Army Emergency Relief. So what they do is they provide an out for soldiers who are experiencing financial hardship. Even with all the financial security that we have, there are still things that can set you back. For example, I bought a brand new truck in 2018. It was brand new to me, not brand new, so it wasn't covered by warranty. Sure enough, 6 months later, that truck blows an engine. On a Ford F-350, that cost roughly $12,000 to put a new engine in it. That's a lot of money. A lot of money I did not have. So I went to the AER, and they had two offers. They could either give me a 0% loan, 0% interest loan, that just pays slowly out of your paycheck, you don't have to worry about it, or they give you a grant. They ended up granting me $12,000 to fix my truck. I never had to pay back for it. That was a financial hole I didn't have to worry about taking myself out of. So that's one additional protection that you guys receive. Next is VA benefits. Now I know under here it just has the VA business loans, but you also have VA home loans. Who here can imagine owning a house at the age of 21? Is that something you'd like to do? Own a house? That's an American dream, right? How realistic is it though, without the military, that you get a house at 21? Pretty slim. So, VA home loan is $500,000 at 2% interest rate. Now, do the math on that. Who in here is good at math? Anyone? What's 2% of 500,000? Yeah.
Wait, what is it? 2%?
2% of 500,000.
10,000?
Yeah, roughly 10,000. Okay. Now, what is the average interest rate for a home loan without the VA? Does anyone know?
6.5% now, isn't it? Or is it?
It's higher now.
It's higher.
Yeah, it's roughly 7%. That's if you have good credit. VA home loan, they don't care about your credit. But if you have bad credit, you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 11%. 10% of 500,000 is what? $50,000. That's $40,000 you're paying extra on a house. It's something to take note, right? Not only that, if you guys want to start a business, 11% of all companies in the United States are veteran owned. How do they do that? They got a VA business loan. Business loan interest rates are incredibly high. Anywhere from 12% or more, depending on your credit and what kind of insurance is going to be required for that type of employment. With the VA business loan, you get 350% or 350,000 at 6% or 150 at 2.25. That's super low for a business. So if you want to start a business, there's no better way to do that. Next. Boom. Alright. So you're gonna get a bunch of different educational benefits in the Army too. The first one, and the one that everyone thinks of, is the GI Bill. You have two different ones. You have the Montgomery GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill. We're not gonna focus on the Montgomery GI Bill. This one's okay. The post 9/11 GI Bill is better, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, post 9/11 GI Bill potentially pay for your full bachelor's degree. This one has different rates, and it's not gonna cover the full bachelor's degree. But this one will. This one will also provide you with a monthly housing allowance, so that basic allowance for housing that we were talking about before. The Army's gonna give you that at a sergeant rate. So based on wherever that you live, it's based on that zip code and the rent. So say, maybe you wanna go to school in Miami, Florida. Miami's pretty expensive. Rent there's probably roughly around $3,500. That's $3,500 the Army's gonna give you, so you can go to school full time and not have to worry about getting a job. You don't have to worry about paying for the dorms or an apartment. And it's also gonna give you an additional $1,000 a year for books and supplies if they weren't covered by your tuition. Now, the cool thing about this, who wants to stay local? Who wants to go to school here? Okay, so say you still live with mom and dad. Now, for my BAH, like I said, I'm getting roughly $2,100. I think it's gonna be about the same for each class. So if you live with mom and dad, and you don't have to spend this $1,000 a year, plus you don't have to pay for rent, you're getting $2,100 in your paycheck that you just get to save. Save that over the next 4 years. That's a lot of money. You put that down toward the car, put it down toward the house, whatever it is that you would like to do with it. You don't have to pay for that money. If you guys want to stay home and save all that, you absolutely can. But if you want to go to a really nice school, you can use that for your right too. Alright, next one. Alright. So while you were in the Army, that GI Bill covers after your first 3 years of service. Actually, back up 1 second. So, that first 3 years of service, that GI Bill is yours, right? If you do an additional 4, that GI Bill, you can transfer to whoever it is that you like. So say you come in and you get your bachelor's degree. You're done with college, you're happy with where you're at. But maybe you want a wife and kids or a husband and kids, and you want to give them a GI. You can give them your full GI Bill. You transfer it to them. And they're going to get all these same exact benefits. So say you have a son, little Timmy, he wants to go to school, he's done with high school, he wants to go to college here at SWAC or at U of O. But he's living with you. Little Timmy's gonna save that $2,100 a month, plus all of his college is paid for. You get 2 free college degrees after 7 years. That's pretty good. Does anyone know what the average amount of cost for a bachelor's degree?
$200,000.
About roughly $80,000. So 80,000 times 2, $160,000 for 2 bachelor's degrees. That's a lot of money, right? You're getting that for free. That's $160,000 the Army's investing towards you. All right, now you can do that. So while you're in the Army, you're also going to get tuition assistance. That's going to cover $4,500 per academic year. It starts in October, ends in October. So roughly that's 16 college credits per year. If you're doing the Army full time, obviously you can't go to school full time doing this well, right? It's not reasonable. What the school covers is roughly 2 classes a semester. You do that slowly, you build up that education, you get probably your associate's degree within your first 3 years. That's college already done. You just have 2 years left on your bachelor's, right? Use your GI Bill, you get to collect the rest of what's left of your GI Bill. Not only that, everything you do in the Army is worth college credits. Basic training is worth college credits. Your AIT, worth college credits. Your combat lifesavers course that you guys are going to do, that's worth college credits. Your driver's course, worth college credits. So that's what, based off what we call a joint service transfer. This is just a small portion of mine. Okay? So this is just my first few years in the Army. I actually have like 6 pages on here. There's 152 college credits for my JST total, but there's 24 on this page. That's a third of an associate's degree in my first couple years. Basic training, I got 6 college credits for. That's 10 weeks. I got 6 total credits. That's one good way to really build up on that tuition assistance that you're already getting. You just expedite yourself through school. Not only that, there's other programs, not necessarily Army programs. Anyone ever heard of Sophia? It's like a college online website where you can do a few classes. It costs $99 for 3 months. You can knock out the college courses in a day or 2. Put that towards your degree, pick up your degree even faster. You can walk away with your associate's degree in a year. So, just one way to really expedite that. Also, say you go to school first, and now you have all these student loans. The Army will pay you back for your student loans up to $65,000. So roughly pay for your full bachelor's degree that you went to school for. Now that covers federal funding. It doesn't cover all state funding and whatever personal funding, but it does cover your federal loans. Next. Alright, and everyone likes to think that us in the Army were robots. We don't go out and do anything. We live on base 24/7. You wouldn't believe how many people I've talked to believe that I live at my recruiting station. That's not true. I have my own house. I have my own time on the weekends. Okay, I love to hunt, fish. I'm a huge firearm advocate. I go out and shoot all the time. So I spend my time doing things outdoors. One thing the Army is great about is giving you ways to go out and do that. So we have a program called the MWR, which is Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. They have one program that I really like to highlight, especially for those who are not married, which would be you guys coming into the Army. It's called BOSS, Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers. What they do is they provide trips for you guys to go out and do things. That's gonna be on the Army's time, during your work weeks. You're not gonna have to pay for anything. I've seen trips go to Belize, trips go to Disney World for free. Full-time sport fishing cards for free. All sorts of different things that you guys can go out and do. Not only that, we have all sorts of facilities. If you guys like to hike, you guys like to camp, you guys like to kayak, go boating. Who here has ever rented a kayak? Do you know how much it was? You know? Yeah, you know how much it was?
Oh, well, we just bought it. It was like $3,000.
$3,000, that's a lot. MWR, you can rent their kayaks, it's $10 a day. And that comes with the paddle, the life jacket, everything that you need. I held a family reunion one year, so we needed a huge grill to feed everyone. I don't know if you guys know what a big grill costs, but it's a lot of money, more money than I can spend. I rented a grill from them, a Toby Hine grill, $10. All I had to do was clean it and bring it back. If you guys want to go to a shooting ranges are expensive. Not here in Oregon, because you have a whole lot of public land you can go shoot. But if you go to a regular shooting range, that's like $40 an hour. It's expensive. I can pay $5 for the day. Lots of different stuff. Not only that, we have golf courses, super cheap. Movie theaters, if you guys feel like going out and watching movies. You have bowling centers. You have, for those who like to work on your own cars, we have specialized automotive centers. Every special tool that you can think of, plus professional lifts and jacks, oil wells, things like that, that's free to you to use. If you don't want to do the work yourself, you can pay a technician there to do it for you. Or they can just walk you through it. And that doesn't cost you anything, unless you hire the technician, that does cost them still way cheaper than paying a regular mechanic. We have 24/7 gyms. You will not have to pay for a gym membership, ever. They're all free to you. So if fitness is something that you're really into, you can do that. And then we have all sorts of other different ways for you to get out and do things. If you're married, we have marriage retreats, just like the BOSS program, where they take couples out. They usually will have daycare and stuff. I went on one, and we went to Kenai, Alaska. So all sorts of different cool things that for just you or your family can get out and do. You can get discounted tickets for football games, basketball games, entertainment places like Disneyland, Universal Studios. A lot of times you can get them for free. Also, if you guys like flying, you guys can get on a military aircraft if they have space, and it costs you $50. You can go anywhere within the United States for $50. Granted, it's on the back of the C-130, it's not exactly the most comfortable flight, but it is a $50 flight compared to $700 or $1,000 flight. So, just another great way for you to save money. And go to that. Alright, and the last thing is the pride in service, right? Pride in yourself, the pride your family's gonna have in you and your community's gonna have in you. Not only are you gonna look good in your uniform, but you're gonna feel good in your uniform. You're gonna feel good about what you're doing, right? Because you're doing something for a greater cause. Alright, and that's pretty much it. I know I covered a lot of information, and I covered it very quickly. So now would be the point at which, if you guys have questions, I'm here to answer. And if you have a lot of questions and you would like to sit down one-on-one with me, I'll be in the conference room just down the hall. So what questions do you guys have? I'm sure someone has some.
How long do you have to go to like the mechanics school?
Okay, so you're talking about ANT, right? So ANT is going to vary based on different jobs. My ANT was 16 weeks, but some jobs go all the way up to 52 weeks or more. It depends depends on the level of training and the level of certification certain jobs need. So like medics will go, I believe their course is 52 weeks. And certain EOD school is 52 weeks. By the way, that is the hardest school in the Army to get into. So if you really want to challenge yourself, EOD is the way to go. All right. They also have the best bonuses usually, and best re-enlistment bonuses. I've seen re-enlistment bonuses for them for $120,000.
You said 20 years you have to go there?
Say that again.
20 years you have to go there?
For retirement, if you want to retire. Your initial contract can be 3 years to 6 years, unless you want to do the reserves, then it'll automatically be 6 years.
Did you do the Navy and Army at the same time?
No, I just do the Army. But what I would encourage you to do, if the Navy is something that you're looking for, talk to us as well, because chances are, if you're looking for a specific career field, the Navy won't guarantee you a specific career field. I will. And chances are we have something similar, if not exactly the same. So we just for clarification, we are the only branch that deals in closed contracts. The other branches might be able to find you a general field, but they don't guarantee a specific job. We're the only one that gives you specific jobs. So if you want to work in transportation, sure, you might find another branch to get a transportation job, but you might be transportation on boats. You might be transportation on airplanes. You might want a specific transportation on boats. I can get you that. The other branches, they might put you on trucks or something else. Not to say that that's necessarily bad, right? All the branches have something great to offer. But one of the best things about the Army is job stability. Getting exactly what you want. That's, in my opinion, the best thing about the Army. So, I don't know if I answered your question as well. Did I cover that? Okay. What else we got? It doesn't have to be about anything I covered too. It can be personal experiences. Anything really. It doesn't matter to me. We have no more questions.
Is there a base here in Oregon or now, is it just other states?
So there is reserve bases here if you want to do part-time. You have one in Medford, you have one in Clackamas, one in Portland, Clackamas, Eugene, and then you also have JBLM, which also does reserves and active duty. JBLM is in Washington, about 6 hours from here, so it's not too terribly far. It's a joint base, so you'll have all sorts of different branches there as well. But yeah, my coworker's daughter is actually in JBLM. They drive up to go see her every weekend. So, yeah, you can end up pretty close to home. May not necessarily be Oregon, but it'll be close, if that's what you want.
What's the difference, like the main difference between part-time and full-time?
So part-time, so the main difference is really some of the benefits. Some of the benefits are less, so the GI Bill, the reserves has its own rate for the GI Bill, but they also pay it differently. So with the reserves, you get your GI Bill when you join. They pay it to you in portions. Actually, if you want to hit the backspace for me. So this is last year's rate, so don't take this for what the number actually is. It's probably a little bit higher. But so monthly with the GI Bill, you're going to get $466 for school. So yeah.
So how much is full-time in a year?
How much is full time? Like
How much
school?
would you like going, and would you have to go to like a certain place?
I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Would you have to go to a certain place if you're doing full-time?
So yeah, you would go wherever the Army sends you, as far as station wise. Fortunately for you, a lot of those places are really cool. And those places are typically around larger cities, with the exception of a few. So if you want to get out and go do things, wherever the Army sends you, there's going to be stuff to do. Are you an outdoorsman?
Yeah.
You like to hunt? You like to fish? Every Army base is going to have lots of opportunities for that. That's one of the things I love about the Army. Not only that, you can hunt on the bases, which is really nice because most civilians don't hunt on the bases. So it's really free game wherever you want to go hunt.
What about the Army places that people live? Is that part of the part-time thing, or is that just like housing for people that have been in the Army?
One more time.
Is the, you know, the housing, like the housing for the Army?
Like the barracks?
Is that for part-time or is that for life?
Okay, so if you're part-time and you go on an active duty rotation, so say you do 30 days worth of training or more, so say for whatever reason you do rotation at Korea, he will be provided barracks then. But typically, as far as the housing benefits goes, those are really just for active duty. Unless you're on an active duty rotation, you're probably not gonna see those. So that's one thing about the reserves is they do get less benefits. You're not gonna get the VAH and the VAS unless you are on active duty at that time. Is that something you're considering is going part-time or?
No, I just want to see the difference.
Okay.
I wanna live like a normal life, live on it, but I don't really care this much.
Okay. You should come talk to me after this. What other questions we got? Are we just tired? We need to do some push-ups? Jumping jacks. We can do some jumping jacks. Come on, someone got something. I know you got a question, sir. There was a lot of information process, I don't know. I did cover it very fast. What time is it?
We're at 9:15, so I'm okay with sending them to class.
Okay.
If there's no questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going for like 42 minutes on this.
Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, and you are free to go to class.
Sure.